Hey y'all, my name is Cassie and I'm the creator of Pieces of Scrap, and in today's video I am doing a partnership with Yeezhee. Yeezhee is a crochet kit for beginners. They have not only beginner kits but more advanced kits. So for example, I got two kits in the mail. I got one for a flower coaster and I also got one for a granny square bag. This is a 13-piece granny square bag and it comes with the strap, which is really awesome. So I wanted to show you guys what came in both of these kits, and today we're just going to be kind of working through me making one of these and showing you all the cool things that come in these Yeezhee kits, so that if you're interested in getting one for yourself, you have like a little bit more of an insight about what you get in the kit, and if it would be a good gift for a beginner crocheter and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and look at what came in the flower coaster kit. So first off, I got the flower coasters in this color pattern. So I am going to be making some cute little flower coasters. It comes with this instructional book, and it also has a QR code on the first page to watch videos for people who prefer a video step-by-step guide instead of written instructions. So I have all the instructions inside of this little book, and it's got like pictures of how to do stitches step-by-step, which is awesome. It looks like it comes with instructions on how to do half double crochet, single crochet, chain stitch, and all those basic stitches. So that's all really awesome, and it also has one of the flower coaster diagrams for people who read crochet diagrams instead of written instructions, so that's helpful. I really wish I could learn how to read a crochet diagram, because if I could, it would probably, I would be able to, you know, read very complicated patterns and understand cool things like that. But I guess having the diagram in this booklet side by side by the step-by-step instructions will be really helpful, because I can kind of try to interpret what the different things mean in the diagram and how you're supposed to read it, which is pretty cool. Anyway, this kit came with these colors, so I'm really excited. I think the blue is the very center of the flower, and then the yellow, of course, is the flower petals, and then the outside of the flower is outlined in this peachy cream color. And then as well in this kit you get your own Yeezhee hook. This is a 3.5mm hook, 2 stitch markers, and a yarn needle. So that's everything that came in that one. And then in the bag one, I got this bag in jade. There's like several different color schemes, so if you don't like the jade, you can get one that's more autumn colors, spring colors, pink colors. There's lots of different options to choose from, but I chose jade. So jade came with 2 handles for your bag so that you can have straps that are very easy and they match your colors. It's really nice quality. Look at these nice metal fixtures, and it has Yeezhee branding on it, which is really cool, but they're just like a clip on either side, so I bet you just clip it to the crochet itself, and you don't have to worry about sewing anything on, which is awesome. So that'll be really cool. Yeah, it's a cool bag. And then it came with all the different colors. So the granny squares are this cool jade color scheme. This creamy pink color is like the second to last row in your granny square, so it'll have like these cute little outlines, and then in between each granny square is these dark green colors. So of course we got the most of that specific yarn color, so that's a lot of yarn to work with, and it's really good quality. This kit also came started with your first granny square, so you know what you're doing, so you know what it's supposed to look like. And then it also came with a 3.5mm hook, 2 stitch markers, and a yarn needle, just like the other one did. So I'm really excited to get started on these. This one doesn't have as many like instructions as the other one. It doesn't have written instructions. It has a diagram, a video for beginners, and then there's a connection diagram, so how you're supposed to lay out the bag when you sew it together. But yeah, there's a video in here, so that should be plenty for me to work off of to know how to make my grainy square, but I'm not worried about it at all. The diagram's really simple. It gives you a key of what you're supposed to do. And yeah, I think this will be a really fun make. So I will check back later when I'm starting to make one of these and show you guys how it's going. So I am about this far on my first coaster. This is the ending of round 3, so next round is round 4, but it's pretty simple and the yarn is really easy to work with. It's like, it reminds me of a rope. It just kind of has that texture. Like if you look at it pretty closely, I'm sure you would have noticed in the time lapse before this that it does look like just a really small, tiny rope, and I think that's why it's so easy to work with. Like, the yarn itself doesn't fray as you work with it, and it's harder to, you know, when you're working with like worsted weight yarn, sometimes it's like 2 pieces of yarn twisted together. Well, this doesn't have that. So it eliminates the possibility of you inserting your hook into like the middle of that piece of yarn instead of around the yarn. And so when you work with it, there's no chance of you like destroying the yarn. So it's very beginner friendly. When I first opened this one, it was, so it had like the piece of branding on the outside, and then it had like a twisty tie around the inside. So my only complaint so far is that like this unravels really quickly because of that, but it's okay. I just have to be careful not to make a mess as I work with it, but it's really good quality yarn. The hook is really awesome. I like that it's not just one of those buy in bulk hooks. It actually has their branding on it, so they actually put in some extra effort of making it look nice and making it all look branded, which is very, very awesome. And so far the instructions are really straightforward. I ended up weaving in my end for the blue very quickly, and you can't really even tell that I had an end there. I tied like a knot from the beginning of the blue and the end of the blue, after like weaving them to the same point so that the knot would be hidden. And so you can't even tell that there's a knot there, and it looks so good so far. I'm so excited to finish one of these and then make a bunch more, and hopefully I get a new set of coasters from this, because I'm running out of coasters. All of my coasters in my house are starting to die. I have some that I made myself, and they're like made from popsicle sticks to look like little pallets, like wood pallets. And those are all starting to fall apart because I made them with hot glue. And that doesn't really work out very well. And also, if you don't seal the outside of those popsicle sticks after years and years of getting condensation on them, they start to mold too. So I've had to be throwing them out periodically as I discover mold on them and as they start to fall apart. So I'm very excited to finish this set of coasters so that I have some new coasters at my house, and hopefully they're pretty quick and easy. And yeah, and maybe I could use this pattern in the future to sell at markets potentially with different yarn, of course, but we'll see how it goes. All right, so I finished the first coaster. This is how it turned out. It needs to be like flattened real well. The single crochets around the outside cause it to kind of like curl, but I think it's really cute. The instructions, having like different forms of instructions were really helpful. I was looking at the diagram, I'll show you it really quickly, to kind of walk me through what the instructions were saying, because the way that they're laid out aren't how I'm familiar with reading crochet instructions. I'm so sorry if you hear my dog, he's just talking a lot. Hey, Colty, it's okay. Anyway, so they're like written in like list format. So right there is just round 3's instructions, and it's not how I'm used to seeing round instructions written. Like normally with amigurumi specifically in most crochet, you have all of the round instructions in one line and it's not like listed out like that. So having the diagram and like trying to figure out what the diagram says was both really helpful for me to learn what a diagram means, but also it was really helpful to figure out what stitches go in which stitches specifically when the petals start forming, because I had to redo a round or two because I was realizing that the way the instructions were written, I just like, the instructions are correct. I just have so much trouble reading instructions that aren't in the format that I'm used to seeing, so I was having a lot of difficulty following them. So having the diagrams really helpful. I bet the video included in the instructions too is really helpful as well, especially since they're showing like screenshots of it here of the different steps and each step as it goes. But I think it would be really helpful to watch that too if you're not familiar with crochet, and if you have difficulty reading written instructions like I do as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and make the rest of these coasters, and I'll come back when I have them all done. Hey guys, so it's been about a week since you last saw me. I finished all of my coasters. I was able to make, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 coasters total with the amount of supplies that I had. I think if I was a little bit more frugal with, you know, my yarn tails and stuff like that, I probably would have been able to make at least one more of these. I started on a 8th one, but I got like 3/4 of the way through it and then ran out of the base color yarn, so this yellow yarn. So I ended up having 7, and I looked at the pattern online, or the listing online, and it didn't say how many coasters it makes. So 7 is a really good number to make. I just wish it wasn't such a weird number like 7. I don't know. I feel like most people opt for round numbers for coasters, but like I said, my tension probably had a lot to do with it, and so I think the number of coasters that you come out with is really subject to your tension and how frugal you are with your supplies. So yeah, so there are my coasters. I'm really excited to use them and set them out on my table and have cute flower coasters in my house in the spring. It'll be really nice. So I'm very excited that I got to test this. And then I wanted to show you guys the progress that I've been making on my bag. So I started my bag. I don't remember if I did like a little intro through how that was going. So the pattern itself, they give you like a diagram on how to make the granny squares, and then like the layout of how to assemble the bag after you finish. And really, I've been relying on the video to assemble the bag now that I have all the squares completed. So I wanted to show you guys what my squares look like now. I have assembled, I'm like almost all the way through the assembly of the bag, but I wanted to show you the different parts before I finish assembling it. So we've got this T shape, and then we've got 4 squares attached, and then we have 3 squares attached and 2 squares attached. So the next step after this, I believe, is just to assemble all of these panels in a way that looks like this, and I'll be relying on the video to kind of show me the best way to do that. So far I really have been enjoying this. The video is really helpful in getting your seams to look correct. I think they use a whip stitch, if I am recalling correctly what a whip stitch is. Here's what the back of the wrong side of the stitch looks like. So I think it's a whip stitch based on what that looks like there. Anyway, it's looking really clean and awesome, and I actually blocked all my squares as I was making them too. So ideally, I would have liked to time one square from start to finish to see how long it would have taken me, but I didn't think to do that. So what I did was I made one entire granny square, and then from there I did each square, like each part of the square. So like this inner dark green until I had all of them, and then I did the next row and the next row and the next row and the next row, all through the 12 squares that weren't completed until I had 13 completed granny squares. So my blocking board was really crowded, but it was a good way to make sure they all came out the same size. So I'm glad that I have all of them ready. So I'm gonna be finishing up that bag today, and then I'll check in with you with my final thoughts later. But right now I was really wanting to show you how much of the supplies that I have left from this bag. So here are the colors that I have left. I've got this little ball of the jade turquoisey color, and then I've got a slightly bigger ball of this pink, and then in between those two I've got the jade turquoise teal color. So we've got varying size balls for those, but that is quite a bit of yarn left over. And then I've got all this left over. However, I'm still sewing the bag together and assembling it, so it's possible that I will need to use more of this to finish assembling, but this is still like a lot of yarn left over, so that is good value for your money for if you were to buy this kit for somebody, you have like extra supplies left over to work on other things that you might want to make. So that's really cool. Anyway, I really wanted to just give you guys an update on how that is going, and I will check in with you guys later. Hey guys, so I have some progress to show you on my bag. So I have attached all the panels together. So we've got 13 granny squares attached together, and I think all I have to do now is fold it in half like that. And then I sew these squares here together so it'll kind of close like an envelope on each side. And same with this side over here. And then I will probably have to attach the straps. And from what I remember, I think the straps are just, they have like little lobster claw hooks like that. So I should just be able to attach it really simply to those corners, and that's pretty cool because I was kind of worried about how you're supposed to attach those straps. But yeah, the bag looks really good. It's a lot smaller than I thought it would be. I made my first square and I was like, oh, this is gonna be a big bag, high quality. But it looks like it'll be about this size, which is a really good size, and I really like the color combination. I just put chapstick on and he really wants to smell my chapstick. I'm sorry. Anyway, I will come back to you guys when I have it all sewn together and the straps on. Hey guys, so I have finished both Yeezhee kits and I want to show you how they turned out. I showed you the coasters a little earlier, but I didn't have really good lighting, so I want to go ahead and show you them again. So I made 7 coasters, so they all look pretty much the same. It's awesome that this pattern came out so consistently, and I can definitely use this pattern in the future to make more coasters, which I'm really excited about. The yarn is perfect for this. It's like really stiff. I think it's mostly cotton. It's like almost a completely cotton yarn, so that makes it really good for making things like this that need to retain their shape and structure, and I think they will make very cute coasters. So I'm very excited to have finished these. And then I also finished my bag and I'm so excited about it. It looks so cute and I can't wait to show it off for you guys. But attaching these handles, the strap was really easy. You just have to open up the lobster hook and then attach it to the corners of the tops of the squares. And it is just so cute, and it's with that same type of yarn, so it is very structurally sound. It's very stiff, feels like it's not gonna stretch a lot. It's just like completely perfect. And this is actually the first time that I've blocked my granny squares for a bag that I've been using. So I think it came out really great too. Like, we're not getting any curled corners from the blocking, which is awesome. So I think that also helped it retain this really crisp shape of all of the corners being really crisp corners. So I'm really happy that I got to use my blocking kit. That isn't something that's required to make this pattern. You don't need to block your squares, but it's definitely worth it if you have a method of blocking. I've also seen people just get like a piece of wood and hammer nails into it to make like a DIY blocking station, which is probably more cost effective than it is to have a blocking station. But also with the blocking station, it's kind of reusable and you won't have to replace the piece of wood after several uses or whatever. Especially if you're changing like the sizes of your squares a lot. So like for my blocking station specifically, each row that I finished on the granny square, I would block it because I was doing all of like these teal colored rows at the same time, and then the next one and the next one after that. So I was able to block at every step in the process. And so I just made sure that it retained a really good shape But I'm really excited. It came out so cute, and it came out a lot smaller than I was expecting it to, but it's just adorable. I can't wait to wear this around and show it off. I will definitely be reusing this pattern to make the same kind of bags. I think the strap really adds a lot of character to it. It's like adds a lot of value to the product as well. So this one I will definitely be keeping for myself, but in the future I'll be looking into how to make a similar strap to this so that I could sell products like this. But this definitely looks like it's like a manufactured strap based on the stitching. It's like really uniform and perfect throughout the entire thing. And then of course they their lobster claws have their Yeezhee branding on it. Whereas I have some lobster claw hooks from my flower purses, but I think those were, they're not gold, they're silver and so on, but they're still probably about the same quality. I just also really like this circular lobster claw hook, so maybe that's something I'll look into the future when I'm making more bags to sell. So yeah, I'm really excited about this. I am very happy that I got to test out these kits for Yeezhee. I would definitely recommend trying them out if you're trying to find a gift or something for yourself to do. I know a lot of people, like I'm not really a beginner crocheter anymore, so that's why I opted for an advanced kit like this as well as a beginner kit. So there is definitely a skill difference here. So the beginner kit, there are so many different types of instructions included to make these. So you have like the written step-by-step instructions, you have the video tutorials, you have the diagrams, all of that. But for this one, you just get a diagram and a video tutorial. So it is still kind of beginner friendly because you'll have the video tutorial to follow along with, but definitely more of an advanced beginner can make this very easily. And of course, Yeezhee also has a smaller version of this bag, but I opted for the big one because I was excited to get a new bag, of course. Anyway, Yeezhee also provides different kits other than bags and coasters. They also provide kits for hats and baskets, and I'm sure they will come out with more in the future as well. And in each kit type, there are also a bunch of different color variations. So there is a color variation for every single person that you could think of. There's just so much to choose from, and I really like their kit offering. I think that I will definitely be trying to gift some of these in the future for anybody, any one of my friends or family members who think that they want to try out crochet. So I'm really excited that Yeezhee sponsored this video and gifted me these kits to try out for y'all. And if you liked this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and comment down below if you think that you're gonna try one of these kits, or if you want to gift them to somebody that you know. Let me know what kit you want to gift them or try out for yourself. And with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and look out for a new video every Tuesday. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.